Dell has unkilled the XPS. They killed it in name last year when they went to the whole premium, premium plus, blah, 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 blah. And they killed it practically a couple years before when they made one that was not very good. But the brand new one is here, and I think this thing is so freaking good. It is so much lighter, half a pound to an entire pound off of last generation. And also, like, just look at it. It looks so good. Looking at the old 16 versus the new one, the differences are like everything is just better. All of the super annoying stuff that Dell did is gone. So like, we have this really cool touchpad that goes all the way across, except like over here's not a touchpad, that's not a touchpad. Where exactly does it start? It's kind of hard to tell, but now they have this little ridge right here, which is not just a visual indicator, but you can feel it as well, giving you a nice idea of where your touchpad ends. And another huge improvement is they have a function row once again. I think that one of the most hated things that they've ever done is this little capacitive touch thing here, because it's just super unintuitive. You need to physically look at where you're going instead of just being able to like touch, oh, let's Alt F4 right there. Thank you so much, guys. So how exactly does one shed an entire pound off of a laptop gen over gen? Well, you shed some performance at the same time. Very sadly, in both XPS models, the dedicated GPUs have been entirely killed. Now, on the 14-inch, I think that is not a bad thing in the slightest. So these are rocking Intel's new Panther Lake chips, and you're able to get about RTX 4050 performance out of Intel's new X9 processors because their iGPUs slay. But a 4050 obviously is not as fast as many other dedicated GPUs. For the 16-inch, I think a lot of people are going to be very sad about that. And I did kind of grill Dell about it, and they gave us some pretty good answers between just wait, see what happens, but also the economy is trash and people don't want incredibly expensive things. Like, I was looking for Strix Halo and something like this, and they said it's kind of doable, but at the same time, this would be so much more expensive, and this is coming in way less than the last generation. And realistically, for most people, they're going to want just the power of that Panther Lake, and they don't need a proper dedicated GPU. One thing that was also sacrificed on the 16-inch is the resolution of the display. So we have gone from 4K to 3.2, and if I'm honest, I think that's a really good decision. At this kind of a screen size, you are not going to be able to see the difference between 4K and 3.2K, and I think that that's a really good improvement, especially since it allows them to have greater battery life. And speaking of greater battery life, they also have some LCD options, and even though it isn't quite the 2.8K OLED that you can get on the 14-inch, it is just a 1080p, well, 1200p, but it goes down to 1 hertz. By combining a 70 watt-hour battery, this display that goes from 120 to a single hertz, and also Panther Lake's incredible efficiency, Dell claims that they're able to get over 27 hours of Netflix playback, and that's at 250 nits on the display. So that's much more real world than other manufacturers that might claim similar numbers, but at 100 or 150 nits on the display, which is not realistic for what people actually do in the real world. Now we're able to have a gander inside the device right here, and one thing that I really appreciate is that Dell has brought their replaceable USB-C ports. So if one of these ports dies, you can just use a little screwdriver, pop it out, and then replace it without replacing the entire main board. One thing that I do wish they added though is a USB Type A or an HDMI, because it's going to be a very dongle forward experience with just 3 Thunderbolts and a headphone microphone combo jack. Another thing I'm a bit torn up about is the size of the battery between the 14 and the 16, and mostly that it is completely identical. They said that they have been co-developed together, so they were able to share the development costs and such between the 14 and the 16, but at the same time, I do really wish that they'd been able to cram a bit more battery into the 16-inch, even if that does make it a tiny bit heavier. Like, they shed a pound, maybe it could have been 0.8 of a pound or something. One other thing that Dell cares a lot about is your fertility. So a lot of laptop manufacturers will have it so at the bottom of their device gets really hot if you have it on your lap, all of the venting and stuff will be right on the bottom. You place it on your lap, that gets covered up, it gets really hot, and then like next thing you know, you're shooting blanks. So they have made sure that all of the air comes in through the sides and then goes out of the back, and that means that the skin temps on the back of the device can be like over 10 degrees lower than some of their competitors that don't have that sort of a solution. Nice. Another thing that I have improved is the keyboard experience. So besides just simply having a function row for you, they have improved the tactility and the dish on all of the keys. So even though they still have this zero lattice design, it is so much easier to get up to full speed. Like I was able to do it immediately on this, whereas in the past you could get used to it after a couple of hours, but this one right here, you don't have to get used to it. It's just very intuitive. Nice. I was just asking about Windows Hello, and so it does have it up here in the IR webcam, but there is sadly no more fingerprint reader. That said though, they just told me that there's a 4K 8 megapixel webcam on this thing, and it looks pretty darn good. Now I did get to check out the new XPS 13, and I really like the look of it. It's going to be probably their thinnest and lightest and also lowest priced XPS ever, but at the same time, we can't actually show you it sadly, so here is XPS 13 soon.jpg. What is coming today though is this segue to our sponsor Ugreen. Huge thanks to Ugreen for sponsoring today's video. You probably know them from their nice little chargers and excellent cables, even like this 300-watt charger right here, damn! But recently they have become quite a strong player in the NAS market, especially with their brand new AI NAS. Now, I don't appreciate AI getting bolted onto everything willy-nilly, but with a NAS, there are some actual good reasons to do so. You can use it to sift through all of your files to find exactly what you're looking for, even if you don't remember the exact file name. It can also be very helpful for voice memos, so you can import audio files and it will automatically transcribe all of it for you and can even translate that audio. Now you might be concerned it's going to just be sending all of your data to the cloud, but it actually computes everything locally. This thing has an Intel 255H in it, so all of that AI workload can be done locally and privately. Look at the heatsink that's inside of the NAS. This thing can summarize and transcribe all of your stuff so fast. Ugreen also has internet protocol cameras that can communicate to each other, so maybe if a baby starts crying in one room, you can set it up to notify you in the other. Cool. So check out the Ugreen NAS IDX, the link down below. You can reserve it for $30 and get up to $1,040 off. And of course, huge thanks to Ugreen for sponsoring this video. Finance. Chart go up to the right is what you say when you have this right here, the Ultrasharp 52 Thunderbolt. This absolutely bonkers 52-inch display has a 6K resolution, 120 hertz, and also it's only 300 nits, but for office work and stuff, that's probably fine. It also covers 98% of DCI-P3 and is calibrated from the factory. So if you did want to use this for content creation, or I really want on a sim rig, it can do that pretty well too. But do you know what's not factory calibrated, or factory calibrated but calibrated and calibrated and calibrated? This is the Ultrasharp 32 4K QD OLED display. And holy frig, does it ever look good. This right here is for professional HDR color editing, and it's able to do 1500 nits. And like, I've seen that in laptops and stuff before, and it's pretty impressive there. But when it's scaled up to 32 inches right in front of your face, holy frig, this thing looks incredible. And it will always look incredible because right here, there's a little dingus that flips out, and then it's able to color calibrate itself any time that you want. They just won't let me do it right now because the whole thing takes 20 minutes and you can't stop it.
Sorry, viewer. That's a little bit overexposed.
And of course, for the gamers, we have some new stuff from Alienware. And this right here, the 16 Area 51, has a new OLED panel option. But what I think is really neat is it's able to do 120% DCI-P volume. Now, that is different than 120% color gamut because it's not like expanding the entire thing, but in HDR, it's like a whole stack of color volumes on top of each other for every single brightness, and that's like a larger amount of them that it can display. So basically, it looks really good. These OLED panels are 240 hertz, and they also have NVIDIA G-Sync. And as far as I can tell, it's the same one that Asus has with the 960 hertz emission rate, and that enables them to have the G-Sync going into it, although I was not able to confirm it. But Alienware's coolest stuff is once again back in this room right here. They have some new slim laptops coming out that not only look like they're going to be a really good compromise for a lot of people, honestly, it kind of looks like an XPS killer, but they also want for it to come in at a lower price than previous laptops. So that, I think, might be one of the best gaming devices of 2026. But once again, here is comingsoon.jpg. Once again, I am super excited to get these XPS devices into my hands. They are coming out very soon, as in like you can pre-order them today. Well, at least in this graphite color. This sort of different, sort of beigey one is coming later. And also, huge thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe. We really need to go to our next meeting. Bye. Oh geez, I almost forgot to wish you to have a great old day. See you later.